Guys, we are here. Welcome.
Yes,
Welcome. Brad Guy, how you living today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful.
Mm,
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking.
mm.
And yourself?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask because I'm doing
Yeah.
so well, dude. So well that I don't want to just, I don't want to pull us aside or sidetrack us with the quality of my life.
You got the college shirt going, you
Yeah.
know?
Do you recognize
Yeah.
this shirt?
No. I mean, yeah, I think I've seen you wear it before, but does it have some sort of special meaning?
It does. This is the shirt that Freckman was also wearing. Uh, whenever he shows up and we're like wearing the same clothes.
He would. He would.
Fucking dude.
Oh man.
But thank you, dude. Yes, shirt is on. We're here to do a little new moon, guys. Actual play. This is session 5, part 1. Brian and I, of course, built the world of Lucidon. You can see that here in the actual owlbear, and then we're kind of taking turns DMing each other through this arc. But
Yeah.
things are getting a little spicy, a little saucy.
A little bit. I think we dipped our toes in the water and now we've fallen in
Yeah.
and realized that we don't know how to swim.
Dude, that's
At least that's
100%. I'm holding my breath right now, hoping that someone bails me out.
This may be it for Coleridge. I don't know. He's been sitting in a cave among the dead, and he's like, being dead doesn't look that bad.
Yeah,
What am I
man,
supposed
for
to write
sure.
out After all, let's go.
You had such a funny moment with that, Bri. You know what, dude? I'm so sorry. I know we just started. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right, 2 seconds.
Vamp, Brian, vamp.
2 seconds. Yeah, I'm just gonna be thinking about death. No, so I'm playing a warlock, Pact of the Chain, so I have to figure out which familiar I get, which is going to either be a sprite or an imp. I think I'm gonna go imp. Sprites are cool though. So sprites, when they shoot, they can fire a longbow, and if they hit, not a longbow, a short bow from like 40 feet, and if they hit, it does 1 damage, but it also has a DC 10 Constitution save, and they're poisoned. And if
Ooh.
they fail it by 5, then they fall unconscious.
What? That's for the sprite?
That's for the sprite, yeah. But it only has 2 hit points. The imp, when it attacks, and you can give the imp your attack action if you want. But when the imp attacks, it does 3d6 poison damage. As well as like a d4 sting damage, I think.
I absolutely love that.
It's +5 to hit. So I think the imp does more like if you want to kill things, and the sprite's more if you want to knock them out.
It's like,
and
do you
have
want
other
to
people
mess
kill
up
them.
things? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Coleridge is not a killer.
Oh, yeah. We found that out last session. I'll tell you what, Coleridge, you dodged. That was one of the... I'm not one to design an encounter where I don't see any exit, right? I mean, that for me is kind of the rule of 3s, is I'm like, okay, well, I could see, a combat way, an RP way, and then maybe like a puzzle way or a logistical way to get out of a situation or through a situation or whatever the case would be. And you really succeeded so well last session with some, I thought, really kind of like doozy-esque scenarios. And it was just cool to watch. Like in each of them, I was like, oh shit, I didn't think that was going to happen. Oh, okay. That's it, like...
It was cool, yeah. It was a bizarre set of circumstances, and I just wish we could have. God, I wish that Misty Step was what got us, because we had them. I got those guys to rebel and turn against this dude, and they were going to just pummel him into paste, but
Yep.
he gets away.
Yes, that turned very quick. Well, with no further ado,
Yeah.
let's dive into the world of Lucidon and the New Moon Chronicles. Coleridge, played by Brian. And if this were the pre-show leaflet, there would be several additional pages because Coleridge, part of who he is in terms of background, but part of his sort of fey patronage as a warlock is this mask of many faces. And that plays well into your history using a disguise kit. And in general, being one that finds the representation of truth a very flexible thing. We picked up last session in the drawing room of the Lord Protector, Derek Chalamet. And after a very tense kind of back and forth between him, his serving staff, and the Forge Keeper known as Salen, this elven figure that was both looming over you and also seemingly impressed. You guys had lunch. You departed with the Lord Protector, hoping later that evening to meet with whomever had originally given you that letter that you, of course, yourself had originally written and signed as Lord Backbrook. You left the estate and were heading back towards the center part of Ukalon, and it was said by the Forge Keeper that he would walk you there. He placed his hand firmly upon your shoulder, and as you guys discussed the wants and needs both of the refiners, but also his personal wants and needs, he made some requests of you. But it was when you passed a tannery, and the simple jests of some blue-collar workmen seemed to hit home with Salen. And he turned, hearing their cries of refiners having pressed into the city and made themselves unwelcome, untoward advances, unnecessary threats. He offered to rectify the situation, as most lords do, through the exchanging of gold coin. He bid them follow you and him into an alleyway, and once secluded from the visibility of the general populace, he asked you to show him what you could do. A fight broke out, one that you treated nonviolently. You cast a sleep spell and pretty quickly subdued these two workmen, but it was Salen who knelt over, pulled back the long hair of one of these human laborers, and pulled forth a dagger that, as soon as it became unsheathed, exploded in an arc of flame. He dragged it across the throat of Bruce, killing him in a single swipe. And as he turned to you to see what you would make of it, I encountered what was one of the longest pauses I have ever been a part of at a table. And it was so wild to me, Brian, to listen to the playback, because it got me again where I was like, oh shit, did my internet drop? And
oh, man.
It was beautiful to watch to watch the wheels turn in that moment.
Yeah.
But
I'm not the quickest of the bunch.
I didn't mean it like that at all.
It was one of those things where it's like, well, which path? It was a crossroad, my friend.
It truly was.
I can become very powerful and slice the throat of this ignorant, innocent man, or I can not do that and have whatever soul exists will still be mine,
And it might not always include putting a knife to someone's throat, but I feel like that is an exchange that many of us are familiar with.
Yeah.
Right? Sort of the siren song of the corporate world, shall we say. But yes.
Actions on my own.
Yeah, exactly.
Autonomy.
I am Howard Rourke.
Yeah.
And as you sort of were faced with this dilemma, this offer of union, this offer of combined intention, access to both protection and power, you felt perhaps one of the most significant pangs of your own morality. This human, asleep by way of your magic, his entire life truly in the control and behest of your hands. You stood and fled back into the streets of Ukalon. And close behind you, and growing closer by the footfall, was Forge Keeper Salen. But reacting with a speed and a conviction that I have to assume has defined Coleridge's adult life, he ran into the street and cried out for help, that other laborers had been murdered. In the blink of an eye, all but one of them saw him as a shirtless tanner, someone that had wandered in, that was one of their own. And with this being communicated and several successful persuasion checks unfolding, a group of about 8 descended on the Forge Keeper, rough men, hard hands and intentions, and forced him to turn invisible and flee. You made your way then into the marketplaces as the light of the day was fading, and saw there a strange display. A crude stage put up, a wagon behind it, and a halfling man by the name of Brom Bundlebrook, who was hawking the wares of a magical herbal potion, one that perhaps your personal history caused you to doubt. And as he was grandstanding and reaching the zenith of his own sales pitch, breaking through both the clouds and dimming by way of its comparative brilliance the other 2 moons of the skies of Lucidon, was a third, a shimmering blue crescent, enormous and seemingly proximate. You made a connection with Brahm, let him know that you were one that perhaps understood the game, the angle, and you offered for him to join you the next morning, if indeed you do join Badron Backbrook, at the docks of Ukalon, in a ship called the Maiden's Mooring. But before that happens, you went back home. You went through the sort of graveyard entrance, moving secretly through the catacombs beneath the temple to Rayquelle. And it's there that we'll pick up Coleridge. Unless, of course, and obviously, if you'd like Coleridge, we can simply move into the next morning. But as you come back, and as, the last bit of dusk is fading away and this day is concluding behind you, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm not so eager to go into the next day. So
I never am either.
Sorry. As I'm waiting, and I took a lot of I changed directions a lot, and I'm making sure that I'm not followed. And I'm sitting in this darkness of this crypt, me being able to see perfectly clearly in this crypt. And I sit there for enough time to get a short rest in.
Okay, absolutely, sure.
And then I want to go up into the cathedral and dress myself as Brother Thomas.
Got it.
And now Brother Thomas is not a disguise that not a magical disguise. It's this is a real disguise.
Right.
It's my real face.
Got it.
So, and I'm looking for. I need to find incense and herbs and charcoal very badly. Do we have any of that stuff at the temple?
Yeah, there is incense. There is a fair amount of charcoal. There's probably about 25 gold pieces worth. And there used to be more. Father Gershki has frequently, over the past year and a half, you've been there a little bit less than that, but has been called upon to either cast a spell of augury, or in some way, shape, or form move forward with some requests of divination. All that to say that there's not a lot, but you do know it does exist.
Okay, I want to try to find 10 gold worth.
Sure, yeah. It's not hard at all. You go in, you give me a perception check.
9.
9, cool. You hear the sort of muffled sound of what appears to be chanting, singing, from one of the smaller chapels. Not entirely unheard of, but not something you necessarily expected. You do know that, typically the steps that lead down this sort of small hatch within the kitchen is what leads to a lot of the larger storage space and kind of the basement within the temple that isn't part of the catacombs. So that's probably where you make your start. As you go down there, just to see how long this takes, give me an investigation check.
Oh, that's better. Who would ever make a character that doesn't have proficiency in investigation or perception?
Yeah, you definitely need one, right?
Who would do that? Yeah, well, this guy did it, but I got a 16.
Let's go. Who would do that? Fuck, I'll tell you who did that. 16, excellent. So, not too long. You go down there. There's 2 sort of ensconced, very large tallow candles. You light them both. And as you're sort of moving through this space, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of useless to you. A fair amount of rope, a good amount of gardening supplies, some spades, some troubles, etc. You do find what appears to be old pennants that were perhaps part of some festival. It seems there's no wording on them at all, but they're uniform and seem very kind of colorful, almost like decorations or something meant to build out a space. But you find what you're looking for. You find 2 sacks. You can tell just from the exterior soot. Oh, fuck, this is charcoal. And as you move through it, it is actually a little bit more than that. It's about 35 gold pieces worth of charcoal. And for what it's worth, with a 16, you are kind of moving things around. And as you're sort of emptying up and moving things out of these boxes, it's an area that does feel like it's, you see candles in there. There's some incense. You see several shallow copper bowls. You're like, okay, cool. These are all like religious rite aspects. It's probably in here moving around. And you see in there a very, very thin, long, it looks almost like a 2-pronged shish kebab, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's made of gold. And it's tempered in such a way that it looks almost like rose-colored. It's strange to describe. There's an iridescence to this pronged metallic item that both catches the eye and like drives it away from it. There's a reflection to it, like the inside of a pearl.
Does it seem magical? Like there's some sort of magical influence in it?
Are you casting detect magic or anything like that?
I don't have detect magic. I just kind of want to
Give me an arcana check.
And see if it has any kind of feeling to it.
Yo, get in here, Helen Frank.
Yeah.
Helen.
17.
17. Okay, excellent. So with the
It shows
17,
Arcana over investigation.
yeah, I like how we both just went heavy on Arcana. You know what I mean? We're not getting fucked on this solo game. Helena, thank you for the follow. You, with that, doing really well. With that, you see that this is not an instrument, certainly, of cooking. This is a tuning fork. Something that you've heard spoken of, but without formal training, it's a little bit like hearing about unicorns. I mean, there's a bit of you that has wondered if this is actually a functional, mechanical item in this world and globe. You're not sure what it's attuned to, but you do know that tuning forks are used for many purposes, and often which bringing people beyond the material plane.
Interesting. And it was in a bag of charcoal.
Yeah.
Or it was... Okay.
I mean, it was not in a box. It was not in its own pouch at all.
I'll take it. And I'll take 20 gold of charcoal.
Cool.
And return to my dormitory.
Got it.
Room.
Find the bread, bush and cress, toast and beans, toast and beans. You hear Lizel like doing her thing, right? Where she's sort of like singing and kind of chanting for a little bit. And you're kind of like, God damn. Leads you to believe that she's either still cooking or expecting something to happen tomorrow morning. There's not really a reason why she would be in the kitchen at this time of day.
Okay. I'll, is there ability to, do I have to go through the kitchen and then like I'll be discovered? Or is there is there a way around it so I won't be, she won't see me?
You do know there's 2 entrances to the kitchen. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can exit the cupboard or wherever I am without being seen by Lizel, or do I think I need to be seen by her?
No, I think it'd be hard for you to, you would need to either wait or make a successful stealth check.
Okay, we don't need to do that. I'll just come out, nothing.
Oh my God, White, you hold. I think you were a giant rat at first. You scare me.
Pardon me. Well, I won't take that as too much of an insult, Lizel. What are you doing eating, cooking so late?
We have partitioners coming. They're praying on behalf of the Backbrooks. They wanted to make... Yeah. They sailed.
What night?
Well, he sails tomorrow, so they worried about it. So they come here, they make offerings. They ask for
The
Book of Hope.
Backbrooks are coming here.
No, they... You know how it goes. Gold partitioners. And I think this is something you are familiar with, and this is unfortunately borrowed directly from world history, but the wealthy would frequently pay people to literally go in their place, to go and pray for them, to go and put forward alms in their behalf, to go and light a candle in their behalf. This is what appears to be 6 individuals that have been hired to that purpose.
Well, let's hope that the Backbrooks have a wonderful journey ahead of them, and that the partitioners get a wonderful meal.
Well, that part I can guarantee. Yeah, they will get very nice meal, huh? You see her sort of these very thick hands are really just making her apron a little bit dirtier. But she does...
Lizel, Have you seen Father Gershki this evening?
He took his meal. I think he is asleep.
Okay. And what time is it about?
It's about like it's not late. It's eight, I mean it's night. It's like 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Eliza, no, I hate to get in your way. I'll leave you to your kitchen.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If you want to lend a hand, there will be dishes after. Hello.
Well, leave them for me. They'll be done. And then I'll walk away.
Okay, yeah, I will. And as you leave, you again hear this almost. You hear what sounds more like chanting, more like syllable-less vibration than it does song or speech.
Okay. I'll take a look in the sanctuary. I want to see if there's I'm taking a quick look at the partitioners just to see if there's a freckled-faced gnome-ish man.
You, Coleridge. So are you trying to be stealthy about this?
I have no need to be stealthy.
Okay.
I live here, so
Cool.
I just walk through. I think I'm stealthy in the idea of just looking at not staring, not like investigating, and like uncovering people's hoods, but getting a general gauge of the people that are there.
And this smaller chapel really is quite small. I mean, it's about 22 feet by about 12. In a perfect world, it could sit. I mean, there's 4 rows on either side, and they sit about 3 each. So you feel like you could probably sit 10, 12 in there pretty comfortably. As you walk in, more or less in a semicircle in front of this beautiful altar to Rayquelle. This was very similar to where you and Father Gershki had kneeled down and prayed together, right? And in that circumstance, you look around, you immediately recognize Tylus, the guard of the Backbrooks. His eyes are closed. He's pouring sweat. He appears to be like leading this kind of initiative. Next to him are 2 individuals who you don't recognize. There's several younger women that you've seen come and go from the Temple of Rayquelle. You get the feeling like maybe they're alms people or alms bearers that do this kind of thing regularly. Yeah. And then lastly, you do see his golden hair almost pigtailed and pulled back. The freckled face of a gnomish man.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Do I know about how long these songs take, these libations, or,
you don't really. It could be any variance. Sometimes they're 2-4 minutes. Sometimes they're 45 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna hurry to my room.
Sure.
I have, since returning to the crypts, I have a vision that I need to bring forth and summon. And I put the charcoal, the herbs, incense together, and I light it, and over the course of 10 minutes begin to create and conjure forth an imp.
So sick, bro. God damn it. Can't believe you're doing this to me. I'm like so excited. It's so good.
So, yeah, I get Find Familiar, but I get the additional forms of Imp, Sprite, or Pseudo Dragon, or Quasit.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will be the Imp version of this.
Okay.
And he's tiny, and I'm just going to tell him, follow me, and do not be seen.
And describe what this imp looks like, and perhaps even, Coleridge, if you don't mind, like what's going through your mind during this process? And I believe it takes an hour to cast, correct? As you use this brazier.
I thought it was 10 minutes.
Oh, you tell me. Yeah, I'm asking.
Shit. If it's an hour, I don't know.
It might not be. I'm more just asking for the.
Maybe it is an hour. Damn it! It just said I could cast it as a ritual.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
It is 1 hour. Casting time 1 hour as a ritual. Yeah. So it takes an hour. All right. Never mind then. I won't do that. Okay. Shit. I'm gonna go instead. All right, I'm gonna go into my room and read the letter that the Lord Protector had given Jimmy.
Sure.
I'll break the seal as carefully as I can and read the letter.
Okay. So first, give me. I think we'll call it sleight of hand. Do you have thieves' tools?
Um. Oh. No.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check to see how manageable this wax seal is for you in this moment.
19.
Ooh, needed it, dude. DC was 16.
Okay.
So you really do take your time. As you're sort of sitting down, you're about to drop the a match into this bowl of incense and sort of really ignite this brazier, with the intention of really directly and in a way that's very rare for you, calling upon this arcane ability that rests within you, that is really not fully understood. Certainly, like the mechanics of it, but perhaps also the cost paid to receive it. And as you're about to drop this match, you're like, oh, fuck, man, this might take a minute. Like, maybe I would need a rop with that gnome. Okay, information is everything. You pull out both of your daggers, and you very delicately, like, push one side against the other, one against the other, with this wax seal being wedged, carefully played. Before the entire wax seal gives way off the paper. You're like, oh, fuck, okay. You unfold it, you set the seal aside. And, you hadn't seen him write this, but you've seen him come back in, and it's very beautifully folded. And the script itself is actually one you recognize, having been tested by the handwriting challenge between only two participants. But you see a surprisingly frank and open-breasted discourse. I pray this letter finds Lord Backbrook and finds him well. He also describes being held prisoner by the Forge Keeper. He describes a wealth beyond reckoning that can be found, that can be spared, perhaps even split, if the yoke of the refiners is removed from him. He then gives specifics as to what his house looks like. He gives what appears to be a pretty specific word, which is waterfall, which is meant to be said to the maids, like Sheena and Martha.
Waterfall.
And all in all, it seems, honestly, well, you could really be the only one that could tell us, Coleridge, but certainly contrary to the Lord Protector of a port city. It seems like a cry for Lord Backbrook's allegiance, for his help.
Yeah. Okay. And it's signed Lord Derek.
There is no signature.
There's no signature.
No. The only way that you recognize this handwriting is because you'd seen it earlier in the day.
But does it ever make reference of who's writing this? He's like, no. Can you save me from the yoke of this?
Right, exactly. I pray, Lord Backbrook, that this finds you faring well and in good health. Know that a dark cloud has come upon me and my house. I'm being held prisoner in the Northern S at the hands of the Forge Keeper and the refiners. They seek a wealth beyond reckoning. And then it essentially bids them to approach and to do so and to say the word waterfall to one of the maids and trusted companions. Yeah.
All right. And the directions of the house is the house that I know, right? It's not a different house. It's the
correct. And it's not even an address, right? It's just like a description of the trimmings and the color of the roof.
Sure. Okay. I was gonna go to Gershki, but I don't think.
Yeah. What up, Foos?
Out now. I'm gonna go and just stand. I'm going to go and pray with the partitioners.
Sure. You go back down, and as you walk by, you hear like this loud, this bang. Ah! What the fuck? Hello, goddamn! You see, Liesel has like apparently sort of hurt herself, stubbed, some sort of pain. The dangers of cooking alone. But as you go into this smaller sanctuary, you see some of these individuals have actually knelt. Tylus and this gnome are the only ones not. Tylus himself is, like I said, pouring sweat, but like there's a a fervor and an intention. You don't really know him well. Maybe he's just a pious man, but his eyes are closed. This seems very, very important to him. The gnome, again, with these sort of like, side ponies that are sort of met back, tucked within this unraised hood, this large overcloak covering this this gnomish frame. You see that they sing as if they almost know these words. Like a lot of people have propped up some of these hymn books. There's a lot of people that are kind of watermeloning and just sort of following other people's pitch, right? Just banging through it, trying to earn what was requested of them. This gnome is an exception. They sing truly. They sing with a cadence and a pitch that seems both truthful but intimate in its understanding of this chant book.
I'll be patient. I'm gonna wait for them. And my imp is invisible, by the way.
Love it. Well, you didn't cast that, right?
Oh, I didn't. That's correct. Yeah. Okay. I'm imagining having a friend. And I think that as I see this religious fervor that I only pretend to have, and to see the kind of comfort and faith that people surrounding myself with these people that have this comfort and this faith, that seems so foreign. I began kind of start thinking about that spell that has come to me, and it's really like the summoning forth of a companion, of a friend. That's where my mind kind of drifts for however long they're here singing and such. And if it goes on because it's just the two of them now, yes?
No, the room is still full with these half dozen.
Okay.
It's just everyone else has sort of knelt. There's almost like you're not sure it's fatigue or irreverence.
Yeah.
But after about 20 minutes, Coleridge, you do see like kind of a held crescendo. Most people kind of miss it and fall off, but you see this gnome, both eyes resting, half fluttered, one palm open, really hold this note. I mean, maybe not the best singer, but again, someone that knew the note was coming, someone that knew when to brace and vocally support. And at its conclusion, you hear him,
well, I'm sure Lord Badrin will be quite gracious and quite benevolent and thankful to you, Jis, Marjorie. I appreciate your penitence and your availability. Tireless, as always. But there's a reason they only keep one guard over there. This a deep, deep river of trust. Thank you. Thank you for coming here today.
okay, who wants to eat now? You see Liesel sort of like has maybe been waiting on kind of the other side of this entrance, pounds through, pokes ahead. Ready for you eat and then must go. I mean, we need sleep here, yeah? And you're sort of like, God, that's a little heavy-handed. But this room is interrupted and the sanctity perhaps taken out, but that calm, that sweaty postlude, like actors in a green room after a performance. There's a sense of communion and a sense of accomplishment. You see them slowly filing out, many of them kind of going to just 40 feet down the way to this kitchen. Tyler sort of looks at you, nods his head.
I'll approach him. Silas, Brother Thomas, we met
Of course.
Yesterday, I believe.
It was a long day. Good to see you, Brother Thomas.
To see you. I'm praying I hear for the voyage tomorrow.
I wasn't sure you were coming. I'm glad to hear that you are.
Are you?
Oh, yes. Well, I won't be going on the ship, but I will be there to see you off.
Do you have any time this evening? I would like to buy you a drink somewhere in town or talk to you for a moment, if you have the chance.
Oh, why? You see him sort of look at you a little bit like, is this a test?
Drink we follow the Storm Lord, so drinks are in order sometimes. That's why you're curious. My piety does not abstain in libations of alcohol. That's what you're wondering.
He sort of leans in close. Another point for Rayquelle in my book.
The Storm Guide gives in very many ways. Is the gnomish fellow there as well?
He still is within this space. Yeah, I mean, it's a very small space, but you see him. He's snuffed out a couple of the candles. 2 of the chant books were sort of left behind very, kind of sloppily. He picks them up, closes them, begins setting them back up where you guys keep them behind this altar.
Okay. Then your friend there sings beautifully. Who is this gentleman? I've never met him.
Margel. Yes, he's quite a spiritual fellow. Yes, he, well, I feel like you ask. Margel, who is it that sent you to the Backbrooks? You see him, he sort of turns back.
Well, no one really sent me. I heard, Janice and some of the other petitioners, they were approached and asked to come here to pray for Lord Backbrook rather. And I've received nothing but kindness from him. I want not for myself, but merely to hopefully act as a go-between between the common man and the divine.
You do that rather well. I'm Brother Thomas. I'm one of the monks here at this sanctuary.
A pleasure.
Most welcome to hear your voice.
And yours as well, Thomas.
I had invited Tyler here to have a drink, maybe a bite to eat outside. And not that the beans and toast are not quite wonderful. They are, but maybe a little bit more. It'd be my treat, of course.
Well, I don't suppose there's any problem with that. Let me check in with him. Let them know, and then you'll lead us on. Yes.
And the
Yeah.
I had told man, I don't know if I have it. It's just in such a mess. But I had told
Rosie
to meet my brother as Jimmy told her to meet Dexter.
Yeah. Yes.
My brother at a bar in the kind of the southeast of town. I think. I don't remember that bar's name, but I'm sure Coleridge would.
Yes. The curtained room.
The curtained room.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you familiar with the curtained room? We could meet there.
Well, I don't know if that's the place for us. It's a bit of a tawdry house as well, isn't it?
The tawdry need us the most, I find.
Yes. I
I'm
certainly
sure
should.
they'll allow us there. No judgment.
And Tyler says, like, no need to fear it either, Father. We're going there on a message of good. He looks at you like, come on, I really would love to go.
Well, all right. Just a moment.
You see he sort of scoops over the last of these prayer books, puts them resting with the other 6 or 7 behind this altar.
Let me just let them know.
And you see him sort of pushes it back. And he's not an old man, but like part of it is the gnomishness, and it seems like he has a very small head, but there's this like shrill, it's almost like, moves between like professorial and extremely absent-minded, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like sometimes you're like, is this guy on the level or is he fucking high? Like, what's up? He goes, he disappears. It's just you and Talis for a moment before he comes back.
All right. Well, I've let them know. I'd like to see a little bit more of this city. Please, lead on.
And you see he's sort of like also put on his sort of overcoat. And with you leading, the 2 of them follow. Tylis, of course, is still in this half plate. He doesn't have his steel cap on. He's not ostentatiously armed. He does have 2 daggers by either side. And as you guys enter the street, you're exiting through like the front of this temple, which is not one you do often. And you go in directly to the curtained room?
Yes, I will. Yeah. And I'll just kind of talk about, just in general, about Father Gershki and how he runs a wonderful temple and how long they've been. So tell me, Margel, is that correct? Margel?
Yes, Margel.
Where did you learn how to sing like that?
Oh, well, I come from a faraway place. There, the gods feel closer somehow. But many of the youth, well, we sing. I'm from Hemlock. It's near the Southern Wind Maker. It's a place that well, doesn't have much around it. So I found my time mostly spent with my grandmother. She serves the sea goddess Umberlee, and I, well, call it old-fashioned or perhaps just loyalty, but I found myself praying too. I felt better about things. The singing was just a way to honor that, I suppose.
Makes sense. I suppose singing the gods would be more willing to hear someone with such a beautiful voice than the silent meditations and the week-long fasts.
Oh, you flatter me, son. We each choose our path to honor the divine, even those that don't know they're choosing it. That's how I feel, truly.
In honoring Rayquelle, we are silent mainly.
Is that
The
so?
void is wrath, can be so loud.
I know that it's said amongst the faithful of Rayquelle, the storm take you. Is that true?
If the storm does take you, you'll be very blessed. And in good hands, strong hands. The hands that created the world won't be bad. Anyhow, here. And have we made it to the...
Yes,
place
no,
yet?
you guys have. I mean, you're sort of crossing, in front of it, and you see it. It's a beautiful, beautiful structure. It appears to be like a 2-story. There's balconies that wrapped around it. It's built out of wood, but it has all these sort of fixtures and fittings that are more typical of stonework, if that makes sense. You see a lot of Corinthian columns, sort of like needlessly carved into door frames. You see a lot of the terraces themselves are both styled, but also like deeply recessed. It's a craftsman's space that looks unbelievably thoughtfully built. As you walk through, 2 glass doors that open inward, and as you're moving to press them, one of the doors opens. You see a small, probably 16, 17-year-old human boy. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the curtained room. Any coats?
I'm not wearing one, or am I? Is it cold? Should I?
No, I mean it's not. It's it's a port town, so it does get a little cold at night. But you tell me.
None from me. I don't know if you gentlemen.
Yeah, take mine if you don't mind. Of course, sir, gladly.
He sort of hands back this like wooden token that has like these red slashes and a yellow triangle.
Love a table, young boys. Is that doable? Short notice.
Well, yeah, probably.
He sort of like peeks through. You see, there's like a hubbub. I mean, people like are moving. There's the sound of a lute and what appears to be a drum as well, sort of like a banged dulcimer, wafting out of this large common room. You can see immediately. He's like, come on. He sort of walks to you to the very front, and as you walk in, there's a circular bar in the very center of it. There's a second floor with stairs on the side of the room, but the majority of the space is these really small, like tucked away areas, and you see ringing most of the tables that again are against the sides of the structure are on tracks, curtains that move about the different space. Some of them are actually already closed. You see them almost like partitioned off.
You can have a booth and have some privacy.
100%.
A booth would be fantastic.
All right, hey, Wendy.
See this like very like older, very like put upon dwarven girl. What?
Is there a booth? Is booth 6 free?
What do you think? You can tell for yourself, huh?
I guess.
She like turns and goes away. He looks at you guys like apologetically.
We're friends. Okay, yeah, come on.
He sort of leads you back, and he very tentatively, like he doesn't want to like interrupt something, but he sort of like pulls back.
Okay, yeah, this one works.
Before he flares it around, you see what is essentially like a recessed booth that could probably fit 8. There is one chair sitting on the other side of it. It's back facing the bar. This is flanked on either side. Like on one side of it is what appears to be like a date. There's like a man and a woman that are sitting there very close to each other. The other side is empty. Most of the action is on the far side of the room, and there's about 6 or 7 patrons that are kind of crowding around the centermost bar, listening to these 2 musicians play.
And as we were going through, I was on the lookout for Rosie, her mom, Pie, any kind of dwarves that may be associated with Golden Fields.
100%. So just give me a perception check.
Okay. 8.
8, cool. So you walk through. It is pretty crowded. There's probably 30, 40 people in here-ish. But more than that, there's this sort of newness to the space. You're like, holy shit. You're kind of looking up. You see that there are people on top as well. You're kind of like, okay, fuck. You don't see Rosie. You don't see Ty either.
Okay.
You do see 2 dwarves, both at the bar.
Do they have weapons?
I'd say with an 8 or a 9, I can't remember which one it was. It doesn't appear that they do. You don't see anything like, hanging off them in that sense.
Okay. So when we're seated, what was your name again, young buck?
Me?
Yes.
I'm Pete.
Oh, Pete. It's very nice to meet you,
Yeah,
Pete.
nice to meet you too.
I believe a bottle of wine for us would be wonderful. And then, what's for dinner? What do you have?
I think they're doing some sort of glazed ham. I know there's turnips.
Glazed ham? Sounds good to me, gentlemen. Glazed ham?
But I suppose I could eat.
Tito's like, yeah, I'm pretty much always hungry. Sure, 3 hams.
Okay, Wendy?
You see this same like dwarven girl just like whips by him.
I'll go put it in.
You see him sort of like leave you guys, and he sort of like maneuvers. This kid's like 12, but he's like sort of moving by people, and he makes it up to the circular bar. You see him lean past it. You got your eyes kind of stay on him. The man that's working behind the bar. You see Pete's kind of looks back and points at you guys, and then sort of smiles and heads back to his place as doorman or door boy.
And as we seat, I'm just gonna put my hands into him and say, gentlemen, I have a confession to make that this dinner, this conversation, well, I need to discuss something I feel may be rather important. There's a young boy that lives in this town who comes to me for confession very often. A bit of a troublemaker, a bit of an upstart. And he got himself into a little bit of trouble today.
Oh.
And the trouble, and usually it wouldn't be anything that I would concern you with. However, he got in trouble with one of the elves, a Master Seelan of the Forge Keepers. Master Seelan had requested this boy, Jimmy, to get him on to Lord Backbrook's ship tomorrow morning.
At this, you hear Tylus like gasp.
Jimmy had said, and Jimmy is a young boy, but he knew that the possibility of my joining this expedition and thought that I would be able to get this Master Seelan on the ship. And as he was proposing, and Jimmy is honestly, he's got 2 sisters and a mother who does not know how to work. He's just looking for money. And he sees these rich men and tries to get things from them. It leads him into a little trouble. But this time, this Master Seelan asked Jimmy to kill for him. And when he wouldn't, this Master Seelan tried then to kill Jimmy, and Jimmy got away. Jimmy has now fled the city.
Oh.
And I thought this would be but a lie. And I rolled my eyes during the telling of it, trying to look for what the real truth of the matter is. But I've never seen the boy so afraid. And then he handed me this. And I put the letter on the table.
Give me a deception check with advantage, Coleridge.
18.
You see Tylus go from seated to sort of both arms on the edge of a table. And he's boring holes into you, not in anger, but in that mixture of disbelief and a rising sense of gravity. Well, I'll be damned. One of the backbooks wanted you to get him on board?
This was Jimmy's plan, I believe. But the letter is very disconcerting. The idea that, do you know this Master Sealer? Or I do not. Or any of the Forge Keepers, for that matter.
And I think you know, like, he was called the Forge Keeper, but the Refiners, right, are sort of in general description.
Oh, the Refiners.
Right,
I'm
right.
sorry.
And I mean, no, all good. Just want to clarify. You slide across, and Marshall has, taken this in and is looking at you with concern and deep compassion. You slide across this letter, and Marshall sort of goes for it before Tylus puts his hand.
Marshall, why I've brought you here is they asked Jimmy to give the letter to, I believe yourself, Tylus, and if you were to ask him, well, who gave it to him, and pressed him on the matter, he was to say a freckle-faced gnomish man who I had never seen in this town until today.
Oh.
And then coming home in contemplation, I hear you both singing in the sanctuary. I believe this is Rayquelle's guidance, or... sorry, what's the sea god's name?
Yeah, Umberly. What's up,
Umberly.
Insomnia? I love you, dude.
Or Umberly. Seas and the storms combining. On the day before our voyage into the seas and this refiner. Curious. I've also heard about the murder that happened at the fair the night before last. Is that right?
I have heard that as well. It is concerning. I mean, a place of merriment, a traveling show, and bloodshed.
These are strange times.
Dangerous ones, yes.
Stranger again with the moon.
That has stolen my thoughts many times tonight as well. And where would it have come from? How does it make itself known, and why now? But let us not lose the task at hand. You said that this Jimmy, he gave you this.
And you now see that, like, Tylus has, like, read it, and his wheels are turning. He slid it over, and this gnomish man reads it as well. And just so I understand, Coleridge,
Yes.
and what up, Foods? What up, Insomnia? I love y'all. But are you saying essentially that, and you passed your deception check, or you rolled an 18, who knows? But you are saying that Jimmy was given this letter, right? Which is true.
Yeah.
And he was told, which is also true, that if anyone asks where he got it from, to say it from the gnome. But are you positing that are you trying to take this letter? Like, I'm curious what your end goal is here with them right now.
I want to find out. I'm letting them know that I believe, and I can do this in the conversation. I say this. I'll just say Tylus. So Tylus, you are the protector, and you do so well of Lord and Lady Backbrook, who I've had the pleasure of spending time with. It seems that if this refiner that wants to be on that boat that leaves tomorrow, I believe your Lord and Lady may be in danger. And if this letter is saying whoever lives in this house that's in the description, which I do not understand, that they need help, I'm curious.
Hey, sorry guys. I hope you guys enjoy it.
You see, as struggling beneath it comes Pete's.
Here you go. Extra glaze on that one, sir. I tell you might like it.
You see him sort of move by. He's like sliding this ham. The turnips and ham smell delicious. The ham itself looks a little questionable. It's like almost like cinnamon glaze. You're sort of like, is this sweet or is this spiced? Like, what's going on? The turnips themselves are sautéed. All in all, it's a pretty nice plate. You see him kind of drop it, but the moment is absolutely broken. Oblivious is Pete's.
Okay. Get you guys anything else, or utensils? A fork's good.
Had he brought the wine, or is it
No,
just,
there's no wine at all. There's nothing present.
just the wine whenever?
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
You see him sort of turn to go on whenever Marshall is like,
Well, Tylus, go with the boy. We could use something stronger than wine. Hmm?
Tyler sort of shakes himself. Okay. What? No, I got it. That's fine. Whiskey. He gets up, walks away, a man rattled and distracted. And in this moment, as Tylus stands and follows, really trailing behind Pete, who's rushed back to the bar, eager to have been promoted from doorman to more than that by virtue of a conversation. You look back from where this half-plated human guard Tylus has walked to the center bar, and your eyes return to Margel, who sits behind steepled hands.
I have served the Lord Protector for many years. But that alliance is one I do not proclaim. At his request, you understand?
The Lord Protector.
Yes.
Is that who wrote this letter?
I believe so. It is his home that is described here. I worry.
To it.
Say again?
You believe there's truth to it? Is he captive in his own home?
He is a man of immense power, but he is not one that keeps a personal force by his side. Feeling that his status, his reputation, is more than enough vanguard for protecting his person. And I'm not sure if he told you, but he is unwed. He has no children. He is a man of his own intention. But, this...
He again sort of like pats the letter.
This speaks of a man afeared. A man reaching. I wonder how this came to be. Well, what would you have us do, Brother Thomas?
Around this time, Tylus is coming back with 3 half-filled pewter mugs. And I got you on the Denzel, baby boy.
This man that this young boy has described, I believe, may be dangerous.
You fear this Jimmy?
I fear for Jimmy.
I see.
I fear for Jimmy from this refiner, Master Sealand. And if Master Sealand is the one that is also holding hostage the Lord Protector, oh, this is a problem for the entire city.
I agree.
What's this
So
about...
I would only do what my duty would be.
Tylus is kind of late, but he picks up sort of quick.
Well, you are a kind-hearted man. And it is well you purposed your life on the path of the spirit. It suits you. I worry, would you mind if both of you leaned in and humored an old man whose insight and discretion is their only craft? You wouldn't mind, would you?
And you see him sort of look back and forth, and you don't really know how much. I mean, you don't know shit about Margel, really. You barely know Tylus. You definitely didn't see Margel at the Backbrooks. You're not really sure, but there was a shift when Tylus left, when it was just the two of you. And now as you sit there, you feel an energy wash over you, as under his breath, ending with a flare of common that you do understand are the verbal components of a spell. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, Coleridge.
Pretty good. 18.
Okay. You feel a zone of truth wash over both of you. And Tylus's eyes are like, what the hell? Whoa. I thought it was my livestock. I didn't know. I thought there were no fences. He just starts like confessing shit. The gnome sort of turns to you.
Well, I wanted a bit of trust, that is why. This Jimmy, you say he's fled town. I'm sorry to hear that, but if you can get word to him, well, I'd be more than happy to do what I can to shelter him. We keep a small house just south of the docks. It's, I guess in purpose it's built to Umber Lee, but in truth it's for anyone that seeks help, clarity, and, just even a good meal. I think that Lord Derek would appreciate me calling on him tonight. I have much to think on, Brother Thomas. This is both confusing and alarming in equal
If
measure.
you'd like, I would join you.
Yes, I wouldn't turn that down. I don't know if you know this, but, well, these refiners, they are staying at the Lord Protector's. He has opened his home to them. If we go there tonight, they will likely be there as well.
Is it safe for us? Do we need to bring more? Tylus, perhaps your friends in the city guard.
Well, he seems sort of looking around, like really puffing up his chest. To be quite honest, this news of a refiner, much less a high-ranking one, requesting surreptitious boarding of the Backbrook ship is alarming. I think I should probably inform the master of this. I don't understand why they would want on board his ship. It's a merchant expedition. They might as well walk to the Diamond Wastes. I mean, if they need to be somewhere, why not get their own means of transport, yes? I'm not quite sure.
Okay, here you go. I hope it's not too late.
And like setting next to these cups of whiskey or glasses of wine.
Okay, he said it was like a Javiolo. I've never heard of it, but it's supposed to be like kind of wet earth, tobacco. I smelled it. Honestly, it smelled to me kind of bad. But that's just wine for me, you know? Anyway, enjoy.
You can tell this is like the first table he's ever had in his life. He sets down these late and canceled wines and departs. And you're sitting there, Coleridge, and the band plays on. These two gentlemen, the dulcimer and the flute, the sort of rhythmic tapping of percussion of their own feet and hands against their instruments. You see coin tossed, and over about the next hour, you hear both from Margel and from Tylus. You hear Tylus speak of the Backbrooks. He speaks of the pain that Lord Badrin felt when Jazzy, his daughter, left for Gibbs to pursue a life of art, a life of styling, of reckless pursuit. his youngest, his son Bassidus, is an apple that fell far from the tree. And it was very much his hope and his expectation, Lord Backbrooks that is, that Bassidus would come with him on this journey. And there's a sense from Tylus now, as he, is sort of the sworn guard of this rich family, that he's not sure how much he should tell, how much is genuine threat and how much, potentially just excess worry. But he shares this with you. Marcia, yeah, please.
I usually find when I'm in a period of doubt, I imagine the worst of both options. The worst of one option, and whether it being that it's all for naught and it's just a wild fantasy story and a forgery by this young boy. And it's nothing. And you tell him, and there's a little embarrassment. Or it's true. And then, well, what kind of disaster would that spare?
These are questions well put. Brother Thomas, I know that both the Lord and Lady of the Backbrooks, they hold you in high esteem. I can only expect this esteem to swell and deepen. Your confidence and your tact are appreciated. The
I go where
maiden...
the wind takes me.
Say again.
I go where the wind takes me.
I hope I could reach that same level of trust. Well, you see him sort of look back and forth at you guys and then grab this whiskey, finish it. Think better of it? No, fuck it. Reach for the wine, finish that. I believe that I should head back to the Backbrook estate. This is news that should be transferred to them, and they should know. But, damn. I can't help but thinking he extends a hand to you. I can't help but thinking that it was more than fate that brought us together. Thank you again.
Absolutely.
He extends a hand as well. Marshal, I hope to see you more. You clearly are a man of understanding.
Oh, yes, I hope to see you as well, Tylus. Protect yourself. Humble grace upon you.
He smiles warmly, pushing the table back and standing, kind of in between, like should he go or shouldn't. Someone that feels harried and anxious, but also unsure if he should stay here. If there's more information to be gleaned, perhaps a union to be formally accepted. But he departs.
Okay. Does he know that we're going to the
Lord Protectors?
Yeah. Lord Protectors.
He does.
I don't believe the Backbrooks are too far away from there. So if you hear any distress, we could use your help.
All right. I'll keep an ear open, and you know where to find us. It is just a couple blocks down.
Yes.
Thank you again. I guess there was more to this night than I anticipated. You see him like kind of maybe feeling like the couple drinks he had before he showed up to chant. But he departs hastily. Again, your eyes come back from the double-wide door that has been opened by Pete's, that has seen, this harried exit from Tyson. And you return to Margette, whose eyes rest neutrally upon you.
Well, shall we to the Lord protect us?
Lead the way. Never been there myself. Oh, did I pass Zone of Truth or no?
You did pass Zone of Truth. Yes.
Okay, cool. That would have been the first lie that I told.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was like, Jimmy's safe. He's in a safe place.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy's well fed.
Yeah, there you go. Jimmy stinks of lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay, so as you get up,
You see this old gnomish man? He gets up. Oh,
he sort of rearranges this very narrow stole that you're really kind of seeing for the first time. It looked like kind of part of his layers, but it's clearly by its coloration and the quality of fabric quite different. He walks with you. You see him sort of nod ahead, and as Pete's opens the door, you see Margelle kind of give way to you. And as you walk through, you're sort of turning almost out of instinct, and you see what was meant to be very slyly, potentially even a sleight of hand check. You see Margelle hand Pete's 3 silver pieces. You guys spill out onto the streets of Ukalon. And as you do, it's full night, and brilliant above you, almost drowning out certainly the smaller white moon, but even that sort of, pulsing kind of amber one, is this enormous crescent of blue. And as you step beneath it, give me a wisdom saving throw, Coleridge.
Jeez. 12.
Cool. Just one moment. Dope. Your vision briefly blurs. And there's a moment of weakness where you're like, oh shit. It's like whenever you stand up too quick, you're lightheaded.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't pull your head away from this vision, this crescent itself, this moon. And as you take a step, you falter. You feel your foot almost crumbling, almost like it's stepping through dust, through sand, through bog, and slowed. Your eyes, even though your neck has turned, your vision is still filled with this brilliant, glowing crescent, this new moon, the light of which burns with such intensity that even now, it's almost like a sunburn. You feel the literal heat, the radiance from this lunar body catching you, even in this short time out on the streets.
Mm.
And as that wisdom save is failed, for the briefest moments, as you look back to Margelle, and this crescent still clouds any actual insight or vision that you might control, you see what appears to be a licking fire, a living flame. Dark rock, chasms of amber, and a moving, living heat that is both intense, scalding and dangerous, and irresistible. A warmth like a welcome hearth on a winter's day. And for just a moment, as again you fail this wisdom save and your vision, your wits deceive you, your very body betrays you. Give me a perception check.
6.
You see the outline of a figure before. Whoosh. Are you all right? Are you well, son? You find yourself prone on the streets of Ukalon, held weakly in, your body being 60% larger than his, is this gnomish man, is Margelle.
Brother Thomas, hello, are you well?
Yes, I am.
Give me an Arcana check real quick. I'm sorry to hit you with all these checks, but...
Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
13.
So 13's close enough where you get a feeling for this brief flash of terror, Coleridge. As you look down, unsure of your wardrobe, unsure of your disguise, of your presentation of self.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a moment, even just for an instant, where you're grateful to be in your disguise kit and not your mask of many faces.
Yeah.
Here, let me help you. Come on, come.
Yeah, when he said Brother Thomas, I got a little, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, excuse me, I guess the ham wasn't so, fresh.
You see him, checking your pulse. He pulls your eyelids back just a little bit.
Nothing I can see that makes any reasoning for that. Did you feel swoony? I'm so sorry. Here, come. Let's make haste. You can sit at the Lord Protector's home, yes?
Yes. Lead the way, I'll follow.
He gives you his arm. And as you head around, you pass through the markets, which are closed. I mean, there's still these empty stalls in some areas where the vendors' tents have been left. But you hear shouting, what appears like a vehement disagreement. You hear some words that don't bear repeating, but are violent and bespeak rage and loss.
Do I hear what they're saying?
I fucking know who he is. You think I don't know who he is? You don't think I know why? There's a reason he takes that post. God damn it! There's 15 guards. Was one of them always in the market? Easy enough, there, love. Easy enough. It's a rumor. It's unsubstantiated. You hear this, and as you sort of perhaps stop, there, perhaps is an awareness for you. Perhaps not. You see Margelle looking back, unsure.
Many a tift.
It's a very difficult thing for some to have control of their passions, I think.
Oh, that is
So
true.
we have more important things at hand.
If we had stayed another day, another minute, I probably would have gotten another plate of ham. I know the feeling. Yes. Very hard. Especially around Yuletide. Well, come.
And he begins sort of pressing you, and you move, and I don't fucking care. Why the hell do you think there's so many, huh? There's supposed to be a rotation. And you hear this sort of shouts of this disagreement slowly fade behind you. And you see now, you move into this nice sort of northwesternly district of the city, and whereas before there were like duplexes, structures built on tops of structures, there begins to be space. The streets widen out. There's probably some trees planted, right? There's sort of the need to both create space and also delineate ownership of property.
Mm-hmm.
There are really no other fences, right, until you get to this area to the northwest. You pass by the Backbrook estate. You see several candles lit within the lower level. You walk past it about another 10 minutes, and you see that it is largely dark there within the area, outside sort of the lower chamber of this house. Without even thinking on it, without even sort of hesitating, just moving forward, goes Margelle. Sort of creaks the door open.
Sheena! Martha!
Hello? You hear sort of coming down. Hello? And it's Sheena, who you recognize, but who does not recognize you. And as they sort of move down, you see Margelle sort of step into this space.
Go. Wake, Lord Chalamet. There is something you should hear. Go.
Sheena's sort of like,
Now? Yes, woman, go.
she sort of turns. All right. She sort of scutters back up. You hear the sounds of shaking and movement, and then footfalls. And it's an awkward 3 or 4 minutes for you, Brother Thomas.
I'm gonna whisper into
Sure.
Marjan's ear. They spoke of using the word waterfall in the letter, shouldn't we?
Oh,
Or you have this? It seems like they know you well here.
it does. I think that probably was only if they didn't know the person, But,
Makes sense.
but better safe than sorry. Let us greet him with that regard, yes.
You see coming down this satin sleeping suit, just one long sort of button-down piece that is very well cuffed and rolled at his sleeves, but extends just above his ankles. Is Lord Chalamet. Well, I must say I hadn't fallen asleep, but I'd just gotten comfortable. This is not what I anticipated. I don't believe we've met. He extends a hand to you.
No.
What's your spell save DC, by the way?
My spell save DC, I think it's 14.
Cool.
No. No, we haven't. Although I've heard your name, Lord Protector Charlemagne. I am Brother Thomas. I am a monk at the.
Yes, the temples of Rayquelle. Yes, I hear you've been doing some generous work. That's what the city needs.
The city has many of illustrious people that are willing to be helped and willing to help themselves as well.
You hear the sound of footfalls. Give me an insight check.
10.
You see the entire demeanor, almost like the air being let out of a balloon. As shrinking is briefly Lord Chalamet. Yes, that is correct. There is much this town needs, and much that I will give them. You see, prying open the door, Saiyan. You see him step forward, and his sort of white widow's peak, even more pronounced in this moment. And as Salen steps forward, you see that he is still in his robes. There is just a bit of dust, what appears to also be a bit of sort of dark splotting among one of the collars. Well, this is quite a late time to be calling. Is everything all right, Lord Chalamet? Yes, everything is quite well. We don't mean to keep you at all, Master Salen rather. Feel free to. No, it is no trouble. I will join you. You see him sort of walk behind and slide out a chair from a desk and sit upon it. And with a sense of ownership that, at minimum, I think, like, jumps out to you a bit and is probably not justified. But you see a sense of this individual, like, knowing this drawer that is not his, in a study that is not a house he owns. He pulls the second drawer open, pulls out a sack of tobacco and a pipe, begins to stuff it.
Master Salen, let me introduce myself. I am Brother Thomas. I'm a monk at the Temple of Rayquelle.
So only because of Coleridge's shared history with this moment. This is absolutely practice. You are established as Brother Thomas. You look like him. There's no doubt. But give me a deception check.
19. Nope. 20. 20.
He looks at you for a long moment, his thumb still disappearing but into the edges of this pipe bowl, before he fits it to his lips. And you see in an instant, it ignite and begin being puffed. It is a pleasure to meet you, Brother Thomas. A man of the faith, I presume.
When you give up everything else, faith is all you have left.
Then I must remember to not give up everything else, yeah?
Perhaps. Only when you are empty do you find yourself. But if you'd excuse me, and I need to speak with our Lord Protector on some delicate matters that require a bit of privacy regarding one of my parishioners.
Give me a persuasion check. DC 14.
Persuasion, I got a 6 on that. Ooh! 10. So plus 6.
Ah, thank God. Okay.
Yep.
You see the bit of a bit of like tension, right? From Lord Chalamet. And a lack of reaction from the Forge Keeper Salen. Privacy, huh?
Not from my needs, I assure you, but from the needs of one of my congregation.
No, it is your home, Lord Protector. You are the boss. He stands. He bows.
However,
yeah, please.
Master Salen, I would perhaps enjoy a chance to get to know you better. Perhaps dinner tomorrow evening, lunch or some such. Maybe later this week.
Well, you may inquire, but it is likely that the needs of the refiners will draw me out of the city of Ugalan. I have business in the Diamond Wastes, so perhaps our courtship will have to wait unless you would like to get to know me tonight.
Perhaps, but first this business at hand, I must satisfy the needs of my congregants other than my selfish curiosities.
I see, of course. He
Thank you for your
stands.
discretion.
Margelle has been largely silent. He looks like a man comfortable, like a man accustomed to being both in this space and surrounded by this level of influence.
Mm-hmm.
Salen stands and smooths the sort of shirt fronts of this long kind of, buttoned robe. He corrects his stoles. He nods to Margelle and to you as well, Brother Thomas. And as he walks by, you see him pat the shoulder of Lord Protector Derek Charlemagne. If you need me, I will be close. Always close, yeah? He squeezes briefly on the shoulder and departs, not looking back.
By the way, I rolled a 22 deception when he said diamond wastes. So you were.
Love it.
And the instinct as a character was like,
yeah, I love that.
Brian would have failed that one immediately.
No, thank you for sharing that. That's cool. Coleridge's backstory is in the Diamond Wastes, and perhaps not unrelated to the situation here, but...
Yeah. Well, no more further ado, I suppose. Is there a place we can speak?
You see him looking, He looks at Margelle.
Well, he, sir, was the one that... He gave me this.
And he holds up the letter. Why, I don't... Who gave you that?
And I look around. Did we go into a private room?
No, you guys are in the same room.
Perhaps a private room might be better suited.
Yes.
Is this your hand, Lord Protector?
He takes it back. You see him immediately fold it. Come. He walks back into the main foyer, and as he does, you hear the briefest footfalls. You walk outside, and across the way, sort of rearranging this outlay of candles, this large sort of box that he's sort of going through, you're not really sure why, is Lord Salen, who looks back. Hello. Lord Derek knocks at you. We're going to get some air. It's a bit stuffy. It's a beautiful night. You see Lord Derek not wait for a response, walk into the garden. His pace quickens.
Close the door behind us.
Sure.
And I kind of want to be on the lookout for... I know that Master Salen can turn invisible. So I want to, in fact, the door, I put just something in front of it. A rake or a chair back, just so if it opens it gets hit, or a bell or a brush, something I can hear that'll trigger me.
You tip over one of these garden chairs, these sort of wire-worked four-legged chairs, and you prop it horizontally at the base of this door. It's not visible from the interior of it, and the door does open outward. So to exit through this door that you guys have just exited would cause this to be moved.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'll catch up with him.
Okay. And he has walked not far. Please. Tell me who came and gave this to you. Tell me how they came to know. I may be in grave danger. I beg of you. Make haste. Please, Brother Thomas, if you are indeed of a man of the faith, make haste.
A young boy, just one of my congregation, he was scared. That man you have inside them tried to kill him.
What?
Yes.
Tell me his name.
His name is Jimmy. And he's safe. He has fled the city. He is terrified of that man that you hold. And if does this letter have any truth?
It does. It has every bit of truth. It is desperate truth. He has attempted to meddle with my mind, to twist the truth that I know. The threats he makes. I don't know what he's done to Martha, but she treats the ground that she walks on like it's hallowed. I've always relied on the city god to be my protection. I am Lord Protector. I pay the coin of the city.
It's all right.
I have no one here to guard me. They came. They requested the honor of my household. I gave it to them, and now, with that refiner falling, it's as if I am suspected. It's as if my own lordship is being used against me. I will not die for the wants of a dispirited, backhanded group like the refiners. I know not what it is they seek, but I will not be the pawn by which they obtain it.
What do you need now? Do you need to be free of this place?
Yes, I do.
Can we arrest them? Put them in chains.
Put
Lock
them
them
in
in dungeons.
chains. Lock them where? On what grounds?
And what, for attempting to kill this boy. And there are many witnesses that apparently he did kill a worker down in the tanning district. This is a bad man who does bad things.
Would
I
Jimmy
cannot-
speak to this?
Pardon?
Would he speak to this?
You want the testimony of a 10-year-old boy?
What else do we have?
You are the Lord Protector. Your word is law.
I was not there. I did not see what claimed to have been seen. The refiners, they are beholden to no
What is it?
cityship.
What does his draw here? Why must he stay with you? Why is he in here with you? Because of your wife.
You see him look back. You see an unraveling, a lack of confidence and of grounding that has absolutely not been present through your exchange with Lord Derek. He's a man certainly that has been full of himself, that has been bombastic, that has, throughout your exchange with him, moved quickly. One that has brushed over things and moved with a subtlety. Perhaps... No, I'm going to let the dice do it. Give me an insight check. DC of 11.
Okay. But he's being erratic. Okay, I got a natural 1.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah,
So, okay.
it's hard to say.
And is anything Marjan? Is he piping in, or he's just observing?
He's observing. He's
Okay,
looking.
I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. Are there verbal or somatic components?
I'm not gonna try to. I don't need to hide it. I don't believe.
Okay.
Let's see. Never. I just kind of looked it up. I was like, I'll never use this. All right. I attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in 20-foot radius center point must make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, each
creature-
human. Wow.
A creature can choose to fail the saving throw if it wishes.
Wow.
Have your mind back. Have your mind back. Allow me. And I can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened.
You feel very interesting moment. You feel Margel fail, and not by choice.
Okay.
You see Lord Derek. Yes. He extends a hand to you. He grips your wrist, violently. He, is himself, an elvish man, one not without some recourse, but this moment seems like he is just beginning to not spiral. Perhaps it was seeing his own hand, and perhaps, there's an inkling, Brother Thomas, of why Jimmy was shown 2 sets of handwriting. Thank you. And as you push back, you feel the effects of a Gaius spell. A spell of intense power. And one that is not fully known to you, but you know what?
I don't really know what I can feel a powerful man.
Exactly.
Listen,
You feel a power well beyond charm. You would not know it as a Gaius.
Lord Protector, you only have a minute of this calmness and your peace of mind. What is it you wish us to do?
Take this from my hand quickly.
Again, he immediately pins a letter. You see him just like the pin flying. Take this to the master of the guard, a man by the name of Bouchelon. He is a half dwarf. He is trustworthy. He is one that has served me before even coin hit his pocket. He will know at minimum my hand. Take this. Here. Go. Run to him.
You wish to escape from here? I can take you out. We can run.
I would not risk it again. I don't know how I found myself in this backwards, in this sort of twisted back and forth of balance between this twisted elven sorcerer. But I would not speak another day, prisoner in my own hand, master in my own city. Go. Tell them I'm not safe here. Tell them the refiners have twisted and corrupted my own intention.
We will.
Marshal, you stay. I beg of you, stay. I would not risk another minute in the hands of this twisted captor. Please. Go. He points to you. You stand and you start moving towards this sort of back brook. And give me a perception check.
I will. Yeah, I'll leave. All right. Perception. It's a natural one.
Oof, dude, these are some really timely bad rolls. Yes, you have the option of exiting through this house. You also one time more successfully felt that if Jimmy was pressed, that he thought that he, not cleanly or subtly by any means.
Yeah, there was a way like outside through the garden.
Through the topiary, right? Yes.
All right, I will, yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to go through the topiary.
Give me a survival check. Ooh.
Yeah, 9.
You struggle. These large, sort of grown together firs, many of them supplanted with these hemlock bushes that have just grown and navigated themselves over many years. Careful husbandry of the plant into an almost solid, nearly opaque wall of plant. You duck down and press through it. And there's also, I think, a little bit of a lingering sense that there is a need to protect the physical constraints of your disguise. You hear
right then, yeah. No disguise. No disguise.
I'm sorry, but it is physically a disguise kit, correct? Like you are dressed.
I look like me.
Okay.
This is there's no version of Coleridge. This is just Coleridge. You know what I mean?
I do.
He's always in disguise.
That's well explained. Thank you for that. Okay.
He is Brother Thomas, and anything else other than Brother Thomas is a disguise.
Okay, copy that.
And I'm not even wearing leather armor.
Then it's just as simple as you not having the strength to easily navigate it.
Yeah, ripping through these.
You're pushing through.
Also,
yeah, please.
I will give up if it doesn't look like I can get through.
No, you can't. I mean, immediately you press through. It's more just some snaps back, and you feel the entirety of this large kind of hemlock into this fir kind of move, almost like it's shaking with the force of you moving forward. You break through to the other side and are hit with the active downfall of rain. It patters about your feet. You stand.
Am I outside? Am I outside the place?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will try to sneak through the shadows across to get away from this house.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Better, 15.
Okay. You see no one. You see absolutely no one. You are kind of on the side of the house and would have to kind of cross around it to enter again into the main thoroughfare of this neighborhood. You could also more or less vault a fence and go through his neighbor's backyard, more or less, if you wanted to head south that way. Of course, any other option you'd like to undertake, you may. But as you look around with that 15, you don't see anyone.
Okay. I don't want to jump a neighbor's fence. I'll just go out to the street and just walk, just go down the street. I have no reason. I'm a man of the cloth. People love me in this neighborhood.
Sure. By the way, my agent has been blowing up my phone, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I booked something.
Oh, great! Congratulations.
Yeah,
You want to check it?
I
Check
kind
it.
of do. I'm going to take this real quick.
Yeah, check it. No, I'll stew in my.
Hey, Shannon, how you doing?
Ooh.
How are we?
This is a phone break. Yeah. This is so. Oh, here's cool. So in our other campaign that we play with John, I'm running Curse of Strahd, and John's one of our players in it, and we have another friend named Matt who I think has been on John's stream, but he plays a wizard, a Order of the Scribes, and as an Order of the Scribes, he takes meticulous notes. So much to the point now that I read his notes to see what the NPCs that I created. I'm like, ooh, what were their names? Because I don't even have to write it down because it's just so thorough and amazing. And he just sent the notes out. That could have been. That's what I got. John got a gig. I got D&D notes for Curse of Strahd, which is pretty cool. And I don't know. I don't look at this stream because I can't. I'm worried about the sound being a thing. Okay. Look at that face. So excited. Ah. No? You got it? Did you get it?
Well, no, I
You're
didn't.
muted.
Well,
You're muted.
Sorry. It was,
and no sound.
dude, that's so funny, and I love where we're at right now. So I hate to break the tension of that.
It's okay.
I've only
Made it
been
more
with these
fun.
people like 6 months, and every time I book something, I am never by my phone, and her voicemails are always like, "Hey, John, really need you to call me back." I'm about to book this thing. Yeah, the director of this thing wants me to Zoom with him.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm now realizing.
Right now?
No, 5:30. We're good.
Let's get him on the stream.
Oh my God, it's so funny because, and I thank you for even letting me make this all about me, Brian. Cheers. But I taped it yesterday, and I'm telling you, man, I could not have given less of a fuck. I took the script, balled it up and threw it away. The opening bit was literally me just jump cutting bits together, and it felt so good because I was like, you know what? This isn't what you put. This isn't what you want. But this is what I need to show you the role. You know what I mean?
Great.
And it just felt good. Anyway.
Good for you.
Thank you, buddy.
I think that's part of it. You gotta bring yourself to these auditions and never try to do what. Well, that being said, if there's an opportunity where you say, where you look at it and you're like, oh, you know what, I need to do something different. Never try to do what's on the page. Bring your own kind of world to it because the director needs that.
Exactly. Exactly.
The actor's not like a blank the actor isn't putty, and you mold it as a director. The actor comes out as something and you just kind of refine it to fit with everyone else, but they need to make choices.
Yeah. No, 100%. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going because I love where we're at. And
let's see if I get the fuck out of there.
I know. So you are now openly moving, the rain falling about you, the streets of Ukalan, and it grows in intensity. And there's this strangeness where, as you look up, this enormous crescent, the rain falling above you, but none of it, and I mean none of it, crosses the light path of this moon's radiance. It's almost like the rain itself, the water itself bends around it. Again, you feel the peppering of the beginnings of burning, of discomfort, almost like exposure to this moon is dangerous.
Yeah.
Or
I hide from the moon and get in the rain.
Cool.
And there's a brief moment where Coleridge is like, hey, Rayquelle, You staying out of the moon, I'll stay out of the moon. It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit. And I'm just gonna try to follow this guy's advice.
Got it.
Now I left in a hurry. After a minute, I got the spell worked. Would I know if the spell landed on him?
Yes, it did. It did succeed.
It did.
Yeah.
And so after a minute, all effects return to him.
Great to know. Great to know. Very
So
cool.
and that's why I was like, you have 1 minute to tell me,
Got it.
while you're yourself. And I haven't read his letter yet. Hopefully, it's convincing.
Yeah.
I'm not going. It's not sealed
It's
or
not
anything,
sealed.
right?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get. If did I escape? Is anyone following me?
Give me another perception check.
Okay. Looking for paths of invisibility. All right, I got an 8.
Yeah. And it's tough, man, because that's exactly what you're looking for. You're like, is there anywhere where the rain is catching, where the rain is not hitting?
Yeah.
And part of it is the low light, and part of it is this phenomenon where there are like gaps of moonlight where the rain simply does not fall. You don't see anyone, invisible or otherwise.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep going to this Lord Protectors. I have my hand on a coin, a copper coin.
Got it.
So, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make
And
your
I'm
way.
just
You know where the guardhouse is located. It's more or less like the eastern side. I can just sort of, it's more or less right here-ish.
Oh, actually, those were guards that were all yelling at each other, right?
It was the baker and his wife.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was the guard. Okay.
Yeah.
But
The
she's
other
sleeping
side of
with
that.
the guard. Okay.
It was the other side of that. Yeah. So are you essentially going directly over to the?
I'll go directly over there. I'm looking for Ushon, right, Master of the Guard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give me a. Let me see here. 60 feet, great. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Nope. 7.
You feel your whole body grow rigid. You take a step. Your foot catches inches away from a footfall. Your hand half raised in stride as if it's glued. You feel these invisible barriers of air wrapping around you.
Okay.
And you see about 40 feet away, made visible by the casting of this spell, is Salen. He walks towards you. Just a moment. A quick question. Give me another wisdom saving throw as 6 seconds pass.
Nope. 8.
I was just curious, what business brought you to the Lord Protector's house at such a late night? His safety is of the utmost importance to me. You'll understand my desire for thoroughness, yeah?
Am I held? Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's whole person, yeah. I know you can speak. Come on.
Can I?
Yeah.
I don't think I can speak as whole person.
You
Can
can, yeah. You're paralyzed, which technically you can still speak. Give me another wisdom save, as he now is like right next to you.
14.
Yeah, no good. So it's been 18 seconds, and you see him rest a hand underneath your chin, raise it just a little bit. Tell me why you came to see the Lord Protector. That's all I need to know, priest.
I told you already. Why are you so adamant to find out?
The safety of Lord Chalamet is very important to me.
To me as well.
Then we are of a like mind.
It's... You have held me here against my will, sir.
I have.
You have a reason.
Call it professional thoroughness. on behalf of my client, the Lord Protector. Give me another wisdom saving throw.
My client, the Stormgod Rayquelle, I request that you let me go. 14.
You know, it always seems so odd to me, the way that humanoids obsess over the gods. What are they, other than old men? This, he's gesturing to like the rain. This, he's gesturing to the hold person spell. This was all part of the one. I see no gods there. And he doesn't really answer your question. He pulls out a dagger. I'll only ask. What's that? Salen does, yeah.
He stabs me?
No. He just pulls it out. He pulls out a dagger.
Okay.
Again, what business did you have at the Lord Protect Us?
Again.
He's not holding it to you. He's just like resting his hand on it.
Again, I told you. If you won't accept the truth, then I won't.
Give me a persuasion check, and then give me another wisdom saving throw.
Persuasion is I think it's 12. Yeah, 12, and then wisdom. Fuck me. Yeah, 4.
4.
You want to kill a man in the streets? Is that it? It's alright. Wherever the wind takes me.
And as you're sort of standing there, you can see he's a bit impressed. Like, the unbending nature of your response, your willingness to meet him, meet his eyes, meet this situation, right? Unfazed, seemingly, by the whole person. He reaches out, and you feel this sharp pain as he pulls down, ripping a bit of hair out of the back of your scalp.
Did that break the whole person?
I don't think so.
You can just fucking hurt me?
Well, he's not like hurting you. He pulled some of your hair out. I mean, it does hurt in that sense. You don't take any hit points.
Okay.
If he was attacking you, it would be at advantage, and each hit would be a crit because you're held, which is brutal.
Yeah.
But he takes this in. You rolled a 12 on your persuasion. He rolled a 2 on his insight for a total of 5. And you feel your limbs and the movement of them return. You must forgive me, then, Father, for my thoroughness. It is a necessity in the business that I come from. I'll leave you be. Enjoy your walk in the rain. You look at him, and there's almost like a shield of air above him, invisible. But something is parting this rain. Doesn't seem to hit his head.
Not my forgiveness you need. And I'll continue walking my way.
I love it. That's so true. Exactly. Roll 4d10, Insomnia. Okay, so as you guys wrap around, and as you're going now to the center of the guards, you come upon them. Well, that's the reason why we're held to a higher standard now, Cardinal. I mean, if it's only rumours, then it's only rumour. No, man, I mean, it's one of those things where it's nobody's fucking business what it is, huh? That's how I want to handle myself. Well, that's sort
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. I'm looking for Master of the God, Ushan.
That's me. You see like a very kind of wide, his chin is shaved, but other than that, it's this enormous, like puffy mutton chop beard. I'm Bouchelon.
Bouchelon. I'm Brother Thomas of the Rayquelle Sanctuary. This is a letter from the Lord Protector. I know not what it says.
All right, thank you.
He's in great danger.
He's like in the process of tucking it away when you say that. The Lord Protector's in great danger. Right
Yes.
now?
I believe the contents of that letter should suffice in the explanation. I saw him write it under duress and ran here immediately from his housing.
Oh my God.
He has men living with them, elven men living with them that he's held captive in his own house. One of them just attacked me on the street, pulled out a chunk of my hair.
That looks
Leave
like
there.
a lot of hair that got pulled out.
It'll grow back.
Do you know the call word of the Lord Protector's household?
Waterfall.
Boys, with me, little Chalamet's in trouble. You see people like stirring, mostly dwarves, a couple humans, a couple half human, half dwarf. A lot of people have been like dicing kind of in the corner. There's an open fire. There's also like more or less like a cabin area that's roofed, no doors or windows, but people kind of getting out of the weather. When you had approached, it was actually this guy, Bouchelon, and he was talking to this elven guard. You actually recognized as the guard that had been standing near the baker earlier in the day.
Yeah. I figured that's
Sure,
what they were talking
sure,
about.
sure. And immediately, man, you see them respond. They turn to you, and they bid you lead them back through the raining streets.
It's very powerful. He froze up all my muscles so they locked in place. I wasn't able to move. He had us a dagger, and he also turned invisible.
You hear that, boys? This was one of the refiner folks, one of those elven cats.
Yes, his name is Master Celine. I don't know if they can all do that, but at least he can.
Well,
I am not afraid. The storm guides me. Guide me to you, and now I'll guide you to him.
you're a man of your word. I appreciate that. He looks at you, and there's like a deep. He's like, "Fuck yeah." He's like never seen you before in his life.
Mm-hmm.
He rolls in. You're clearly a confidant. He also rolled high on his inside. Everything you've said is true. You guys are rushing through the streets. There's a brief, perhaps flash of adrenaline, Coleridge, as the intensity of this rain pelts through this kind of wide frock, begins to dampen the outerwear of the cloak you're wearing. You hear the footfalls of this half-dozen guards. Bouchelon calling out occasionally, "Remember now, he's a mage. Eyes about you, he can turn invisible." Never did trust those refiners. They never asked before they came. They just showed their fuck up. And as they're running, and as you're sort of rounding past the market, bending around north through the streets, heading to this northwest corner of the well-to-dos, we'll call it a session. But not before. But not before. You give me one more wisdom saving throw.
This isn't good. You built your whole campaign around wisdom saving throws. I can't possibly feel. There'll be a 15.
I think if you went back and checked like the most saves I asked for, gotta be wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I
said
mean,
15?
I'm supposed to be proficient in it. Yeah, I am proficient in it, but like I have no points in there at all.
No, copy. That's
the problem.
Terry's intelligence. I'm like, well, technically I'm good, I guess. Okay,
Wisdom's so important.
15 or 14?
15, 1
Great.
5.
You can't help but it's the absence of rain. There's a brief moment where you cut through and there's nothing. For 2, 3, 4 strides, you look up, and there it is. This new moon burning above you, this blazoned hangnail of unanswered divinity. And as you sort of take it in, again, there's this brief moment of like, oh fuck, this weightlessness, this lightheadedness. You feel yourself falling. But this time you catch yourself. You look up. You see these geysers, these rivets of flame, almost like lava that's breathing, moving of its own accord. And in its center sits an impish figure. The 2 horns of its head silhouetted, its back turned to you. And it slowly begins to turn.
Well, you finally found me, my little reed. Things do be changing.
Before the vision fades, and you feel your footfall again hitting the cobbled streets of Ukalan, moving out of this pocket, the rain again drenching your skin and cloak. And we'll pick up there in 2 weeks.
All right. Woo. All right.
God,
Sorry,
I
you were-
love you, buddy. This was fun.
You started off. That's what you were saying. You were like, so we'll just call it an evening then. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh. No.
Dude, that's so funny. That's because I was unsure if you were gonna wait to see Rosie. I would say, for what it's worth, you did say 7 o'clock outside the curtained room, and we got there pretty well after, just for what
Yeah,
it's
we
worth.
did.
But no, dude, it's because I wasn't sure how deep we were gonna go into this. I wanted to put it into your hands. This is fucking great.
Very passionate.
Buddy.
Brother Thomas is going to free the city of this thing, and he's going to take his robes and get +1 on his spell saves. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, this is sweet. This is like, there's like purpose, and it's like an interesting thing. We can discuss it during the roleplay, but there were definitely like those moments where Coleridge is, or as Brother Thomas, like believing his own con.
Yes, dude. Listen, that's
bit.
so funny you put that way, Coleridge, because I felt that, and that was honestly why a couple times I just gave you persuasion with advantage, because it's like, but that's a lie, bro. What the fuck?
Is it?
Yeah, no, man. Believe me, like well,
your whole life is a lie.
Yeah. I love how you're like, no, dude. Like, Brother Thomas is Coleridge. There's no outfit. Like,
No.
oh, I love you, man. Oh, so good. Guys, thank you so much for coming through. Insomnia, I missed that butt. That's real, bro. Fuzka?
What?
Just saying I miss Insomnia's butt. Back off, Brian. All right. Helena Frank, thank you for the follow. I can't wait to see what you dropped in the Discord. Let's check it out.
40-10 hair pride damage.
Yeah, isn't that good? That was very funny.
Every morning when I wake up. Yeah, John knows where it hurts the most.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely not. But just take out some of those sweet, beautiful locks of Brother Thomas.
Oh my gosh, it's like you feel it will never grow back, dude. That is so funny. Oh, Insomnia, that's funny. Brian, I don't know if you've seen Insomnia's stream. He runs an incredible late night actual play. It's fun, dude. The coolest part about it. Yeah, no, exactly. No take backs, Insomnia. No take backs. That was perfect.
No one makes more jokes about my hair than me. I promise.
Yeah, no, for real. And listen, you're a beast, dude. Come on, you're handsome as fuck. But you truly, like, I'll send you Insomnia's actual plays because
please do. Yeah.
Among many other things, like his understanding of like VTT and Foundry, like it's just very fucking cool. Cause like that's, I feel like, the weakest part of my game is I'm sort of like, well, just theater of the mind it, you know what I mean? And if I have to build it, I'll build it. But
right. Well, do you mind if I ask? Do you use Roll20 Insomnia, or what's the digital interface that you use?
I believe it is in fact Foundry, right? Insomnia.
Foundry.
I think I'm remembering that right.
Foundry.
Yeah.
Foundry
Cool,
VTT.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that we probably. It's kind of like how you want me to buy a microphone.
Yes, dude. Everyone in the chat also wants you to buy a microphone.
I know. We should probably do that. I should probably do that, and we should both invest in learning some of these.
I know.
Because this is probably the way that we can play like this. I mean, we love those in-person games, but especially, I mean, you run a digital game.
I know. Well, listen. Once that Tuesday campaign concludes. I am.
That's up to you, baby.
I know. Well, believe me, you guys are about to die at sea, bro. If this continues, I'm like, all right, this is it.
Just like we win this battle on the seas of like 4 orcs riding like winged creatures. You'd be like, guys, you won.
Yeah, exactly.
Friend,
yeah.
He was an orc, and
these actually aren't orcs; they're drow, and it's over. You're good.
My
God.
I gotta get back to. I don't know. We have to. I'm a little confused about. I have a feeling like Valnor is leading us to fight a fight on the wrong side of the enemy.
That's
that
interesting.
We're supposed to be fighting against Drasiladon. I think he's like, no, we need to help her. And I'm like, I mean, I believe you, but. Oh.
But you sure about this? What's up? Yeah,
positive.
dude. Yeah. That's real.
Well, I'll check Foundry VTT. I was gonna this week check out Roll20 and see if that would be a better support for next Thursdays when it's my turn again. Just to do music, like to have some sort of control on what I can send out music
Dude,
wise.
and that's exactly where I'm at too. Where I'm like, I don't, it's really helpful to me and important to me to like have the playlist going, and it fucking kills me that I have to like constantly be like, oh, check the chat, because I use Owlbear and they recently updated and it's just changed the way that we use it, which kind of is what it is. But whatever, no regrets. Okay.
But custom automation. Well,
yeah.
I don't think that's going to be happening for old 43-year-old over here.
Yeah, you're like, please don't make me do that. Okay, well,
no, that's cool though. I get that, like the joy, because I get all the. Sorry, and I know you want to go.
No.
Stuff, but I make I make my own miniatures and stuff.
Dude, you really do.
And so I imagine that if I did digital for a long time, I would like take a lot of pride and joy in making digital maps and digital automation and all that kind of stuff,
For sure. I definitely, and that's what was kind of crazy during that Undertow battle, because I wiped the cache. But like, I love building out the digital map too. But then you'll see Insomnia's like on Foundry, and it's just dope as fuck, dude. Because it's more like it's like 3D and it's interactive. It's like live.
What night do you play Insomnia?
He plays 5 nights a week.
5 nights?
But it's not the same game. Like they rotate. But I don't want to misquote you, Insomnia. Let us know what the actual deal is.
Yeah, for sure. I want to look as pretty as possible. That's the idea. Got you. It's just cooler to immerse yourself into something that there's like care and attention and stuff,
Yeah.
Like our map.
Yeah.
The different. We need to upload the Barovia map.
No. Yeah, we did. So listen, I dropped it into my Discord. I dropped it into my Discord. No, get it for sure. Brian is running an IRL Curse of Strahd campaign that's fucking awesome. And I've never done Strahd before, but we showed up this Sunday and Brian had hand drawn this fucking map, which was sick as fuck. Yeah.
So like, just because we have the map that we use for this campaign, that was done very quickly. When we're creating a world's reference, at some point I should make it more like this.
Yeah. No, we will.
This is like a day and a half as opposed to the 30 minutes and just color shit.
Yeah,
but I love it so much. I mean, you get so invested. I feel like when you're making all this stuff, you get like it more invests you. Like I'm making like 1,000 trees. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder what's happening in this tree.
Bro, that's so funny. That's so cool. No, you are truly inspiring with that. It's just fun, man. Like that's the beauty of it, and that's honestly what I felt a little bit on Tuesday. Was like there was a couple options where like there were some really cool built out maps, and I'm just like, all right, well,
yeah,
all right,
yeah, I bet. Yeah, we skipped. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I could see that the 4K animated map slowing. Like,
yes,
all this stuff, but it's just the lag. Oh man, that's gotta be so frustrating. Fuck that, man. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry.
No. Listen, that's the labor of love. Like, I guarantee you that map will come into play at some point in time,
Yeah. What's wrong? Dude, I'm looking at it. This is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Insomnia, you're a peach. One player was like, what the shit is going on? Everyone is lagging? Like, what my PC is?
I'm just getting pop-ups.
Yo, dude, my comp's on fire, bro.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, I love you. I gotta get ready for this fucking callback. Let's go.
Oh, dude, you're gonna crush it, brother.
I am. I truly am. I appreciate you, Brian. Anything you want to say before we raid somebody and get out of here?
No, just thanks for joining in, and thanks for. Listen, I don't know where it's going either, so. Denzel and Walken. Okay.
Yeah, no. Insomnia is an absolute G, but he's incredible at using the emote redemptions. So he's the one that made us, for example, we did whenever we did the 2 Talbots, it was him that redeemed Shakespeare. So, he's a real one with that.
We gotta do that.
No, we're gonna do more. Guys, I'm rolling in. We're about to raid Pink Nips. Do not know who they are. I hope they're cool and chill and respectful.
I can give you a guess.
Yeah. Listen, the capture seems like it's PG. We shall shortly see. But they're playing Dungeons & Dragons. Be sweet to them. Cool. Tell them who sent you. And as always, take care of each other and yourselves. Brian. We're out of
Yeah.
here, bro.
Thank you so much.
We out. Love y'all. See y'all Monday. Peace. We gone.